Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 21, Text 11. Dhanyaha smab mudhagatayaha api harinyaha etaha yaha nandanandanam upatta vichitravesham akarnya venuranitam saha krishna saraha pujam dadhu virachitam pranaya avalokaihi dhanyaksmamudhagatayopi harinya eta dhanyaksmamudhagatayopi harinya eta yanandanandanamupatta vichitravesham yanandanandamupatta vichitravesham akarnya venuranitam saha krishna sara akarnya venurahitam saha krishna sara pujang dadhur virachitam pranayavalokaihi pujam dadhur virachitam pranayavalokaihi dhanyaksmamudhagatayopi harinya eta yanandanandanamupatta vichitravesham akarnya venuranitam saha krishna sara pujam dadhur virachitam pranayavalokaihi Ladies. Venuranitam saha Krishna Sara Pujam dadhur virachitam pranayavalokai. Dhanyaha, fortunate, blessed, sma, certainly, mudhagatayaha, having taken birth in an ignorant animal species. Happy, although, harinyaha, she dear, etaha, this, yaha, who, Nandanandanam, the son of Maharaja Nanda. Upatta vichitravesham, dressed very attractively. Akarnya, hearing. Venuranitam, the sound of his flute. Saha Krishna Saraha, accompanied by the black deer, their husbands. Pujam dadhuhu, they worshipped. Virachitam, performed. Pranaya avalokaihi, by their affectionate glances. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and commentary by his disciples. Blessed are all these foolish deer, because they have approached Maharaja Nanda's son, who is gorgeously dressed and is playing on his flute. Indeed, both the doe and the bucks worship the Lord with looks of love and affection. Purport. This translation is quoted from Srila Prabhupada's Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 17.36. According to the Acharyas, the gopis were singing as follows. The female deer can approach Krishna along with their husbands, because Krishna is the ultimate object of affection for the male deer. Because of their affection for Krishna, they are encouraged by seeing their wives attracted to him, and thus consider their household lives fortunate. Indeed, they become joyful upon seeing how their wives are searching after Krishna, and following along, they urge their wives to go to the Lord. On the other hand, our husbands are jealous of Krishna, and because of their lack of devotion to him, they cannot even stand to smell his fragrance. Therefore, what is the use of our lives? Again, translation. Blessed are all these foolish deer, because they have approached Maharaja Nanda's son, who is gorgeously dressed and is playing on his flute. Indeed, both the doe and the bucks worship the Lord with looks of love and affection. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swamini Chinamane. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Chinamane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyati Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So first I will read from Krishna book how Srila Prabhupada described the same moment. So Srila Prabhupada writes, another gopi said, my dear friends, just see the deer. Although they are dumb animals, they have approached the son of Maharaja Nanda, Krishna. Not only are they attracted by the dress of Krishna and Balaram, but as soon as they hear the playing of the flute, the deer, along with their husbands, offer respectful obeisances unto the Lord by looking at him with great affection. The gopis were envious of the deer because the deer were able to offer their service to Krishna alone with their husbands. The gopis thought themselves not so fortunate because whenever they wanted to go to Krishna, their husbands were not very happy. So, gopis, this verse and next verse is spoken by married gopis, especially one of the commentaries he points out, because they think, oh, our husbands, they don't worship Krishna, they don't allow us to go to him, they don't want even to smell fragrance of his lotus feet. But see, look at this deer, they go together, means female deer and male deer, and female deer look with affection to the Krishna, side looking with love, and male deer doesn't object. They actually encourage their female companion to do so. So gopis was very upset with this, and later on in this chapter they also repeat the same thought when they will talk about demigods, that goddesses, they come on the airplane to see the Krishna, and they came along with the husbands, and husbands doesn't mind if their wives staring at Krishna and offering them him prayers, and I mean, usually it's unimaginable for wife to reciprocate in such a way with any other man than her husband. But in this case, it's not only allowed, but it's encouraged, because this object is Krishna. He is the ultimate object of worship of any living entities, and ultimately we are not female or male, we all dasa dasa anudasa, gopi bhartur padakamalayur dasa dasa anudasa, we all servants of the service of Krishna, we all nitya Krishna dasas. So, but gopis, they feel not very good, because their husbands doesn't allow them to go to Krishna, and acharyas give different meanings of this verse. I will read a few of them. Vishwanath Chakravarti writes that the Gurus speak this verse to illustrate the following: how amazing! Although we are witty, we who are not approaching our lover are making our lives unsuccessful. The Das, however, have become successful, though they are slow-witted. So they feel that, okay, we are very smart, but here is our object of love, and we cannot reciprocate with him openly. But this not very, I mean, it's not a man even, it's an animal, mudhagateha, this word used, that they're not very clever, they're not witty, these animals, but they openly show their love to Krishna. And from this we can get that devotees shouldn't be afraid to express that they are devotees. Here, I mean, in India it's very easy to wear devotional clothes, to preach, to express that you are devotee. On the West it's more difficult, because people will think mainly that you are kind of mad person, because they're not used to this kind of dress. But devotees shouldn't be afraid of speaking frankly about philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Nowadays we have a lot of this bridge preaching, and a lot of ways when devotees try to not to tell directly about Krishna, but usually it leads to big problems, because inside our movement devotees who are newcomers, they start to think that that's the way how we should deal with the public. That's our message. And like in Russia right now, it's a catastrophe. Like it's a big mess because a lot of devotees, they came from this bridge preaching, and now they constitute the main mass of the movement. So if you want to say something directly according to the not of course not everything that you how to say, it's not that everything which Srila Prabhupada said is forbidden to tell. Of course, if you will say that you should chant Hare Krishna, you should worship Krishna, that will be allowed. But when you will go to the details, problem will begin, like position of the women, material success, how we should preach, what is our position on different topics. So this indirect preaching, this indirect approach to Krishna consciousness, when we don't approach Krishna directly, we don't approach public with direct message of Krishna. Finally, as we can see on the examples of different countries where this was implemented, it leads to the failure. There's no Krishna consciousness, and devotee struggles. So yeah, gopis, they think why we cannot. I mean, we are very unfortunate. We cannot approach Krishna directly. These fellows, although they are not very witty, but they are doing this very straightforward, and their husband doesn't object. Baladeva Vidyabhushana gives almost the same meaning, but little difference. He tells that other gopis speak, although we are witty, we who are not approaching the lover due to bashfulness and out of fear of adharma are making our lives unsuccessful. However, the das who are shameless are making their lives successful, although they are slow-witted. Actually, it's not, of course, it's not true that gopis will not, they're not approaching Krishna due to bashfulness and out of fear of adharma. Before rasa dance, later we will read that when Krishna started to play the flute, they all immediately run to him, and they left all their duties. Someone would cook, they would deal with fire, and they just run, they left the fire, they left everything in the kitchen. Someone was caring after looking after some small babies, and they just left the babies and just left to Krishna. So whatever action they was doing at that point of time, when they understood that Krishna inviting us, then immediately they left their duties, left all the situations in which they was present. So that's why. And actually, if you will think about this, it sounds scary for if you have material attachments, because I mean that's how world goes on. If everyone will throw their babies and go for Krishna, then who will care after small babies? I mean, usually it's considered improper, very improper if someone is not taking care of their children, especially of small babies. They're so cute, they're small, they need protection. All species of life, when they're small, they have this energy. Everyone likes them, everyone wants to take care of them. Usually it's like that. Yeah, some species are not, but anyway. So usually when someone leaves their duties, it's considered very improper. If someone speaks with husband doing something for him, and then immediately he just runs somewhere to the other person, it's considered very immoral. Correct? But that's the goal, actually. Yeah, that's internal mood which Gaudiya Vaishnavas are trying to develop. That's the mood of the gopis. Externally, everything should be done according to the varnashrama, everything should be very proper on the sattvic level, but internally, devotees should be completely renounced. They shouldn't be attached to all these duties, and they should be ready to leave their duties at any point of time if that's required for Krishna. If Bhogadi Krishna Satyaga Hetave, it's one of angas which Rupa Goswami listed it in Nectar of Devotion, that for the sake of Krishna we should renounce any kind of enjoyment, bhoga, adi. And adi, word adi means, Acharyas explained, sons, wealth, family, wife, and so on. So it, and I don't know, looks like in India it was not prominent, but in Russia, in the Western world, it was very prominent that when devotees, people in general, those who become devotees, newly comers, when they come in touch with Krishna consciousness, first idea is to reject everything, because sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam raja, we need to leave everything. In Russia, there was a lot of cases when people, males, they was leaving their families immediately, goes to the ashrams, because we are not the bodies, we are souls, and with soul maya, wife, children, everything, and they sold their property, donate to the ashram, to the temple. So it's not recommended, such kind of approach, because after some time, most of these devotees, they return to their wives, but they've tried, but in most cases it was already not possible to do, because they did a mess, or they throw all the material assets which they had, but after some time they realized that they require this. So that's why in the beginning it's not recommended to do such kind of things, because we follow Yukta Vairagya principle, we engage everything in the service of Krishna. We do not just, like Gyanis, reject everything. We see everything as a property of Krishna, and we try to use everything in the service of Him. That's the idea. But internally, again, this sense of renunciation should be developed. We should think about this, especially family people, from the very beginning of family life. Actually, even before we enter in the family life, that's why Brahmachari training is required, because then young men will know that family life is not all in all. He will have this Shastra-based philosophy, consciousness that that attaining of Krishna, attaining bhava prema, it's the highest goal. Not that the family in itself, it's how to say, all in all, like that's the final goal. That now I have family life, and that's all. Sometimes it can be seen that devotees, they have very big desire of family life, and they think that now I will go into family life, I will satisfy my desires and gone. It will, but it doesn't work like that, because senses and mind, they will take from us more and more. The more we put object of the senses to the senses and mind, the bigger lust becomes. So from the very beginning of family life, even before entering the family life, one should understand how I will come out of the family life. Should be a plan. That's why, according to the Vedic system, there is different ashrams. There is a prescription that at 50 years old, Panchashordvam, Vanamrajet, we should go to the Vanaprastha ashram. It's not that the whole life we will be in family life. So person should plan accordingly his life, how he will renounce these desires which he have right now. That's why I'm entering Grihastha ashram. If brahmachari have desires for family lives, then he should go there. But idea is that we renounce. Ultimately, we should come out and we should left aside our relatives, wife, children's. In first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in connection with Dhritarashtra living home, Srila Prabhupada mentions that there are persons who called Dhira, means that they, on the level of buddhi, intellect, leave their house and break all the connections, because that's what Dhritarashtra did. Yeah, so, and some cases in the, we can say, contemporary world is seen. I know one case of this devotee was not from Gaudiya Sampradaya, but at some point of time when he was more than 50, he was in family, he had kids, and just at some day, at some point of time, family understood that he is not here. They woke up and he was not at home, he just left. Because he understood that I have attachment, very big attachment to all these surroundings, and soon my time will over and I need to be fully engaged in Krishna service. So usually it's not, how to say, prescribed method for us, because as Srila Prabhupada stated in few places, husband with wife, they can continue if everyone in good mood, in Krishna consciousness, they can continue to serve the mission together. Wife can accompany husband, but ultimately that's also not favorable, because the whole, not the whole life, but a big part of the life was lived with this person, and husband naturally attached to this women. So that's why last stage sannyas is prescribed. Yeah, so everyone should have plan how we will escape these material desires which we have. We should plan our life accordingly, so that at the end we will not find ourselves in a situation where sometimes it seems that devotees who above 50, who sometimes 60 or 70, they marry first time, or again, it's I mean, it's complete mess, because possibility to really renounce everything, it's almost impossible in this case, because they begin family life again at the stage where they should end all family life. Yeah, also, I want to speak about Nanda Nandanam. That's how here Krishna is addressed in this verse. Nanda Nandanam. Acharya explains that as a pun, Nandanandanam can be explained. I mean, primary meaning of Nandanandanam is son of Maharaja Nanda, but also Acharyas explained that this can mean that he makes even bliss itself blissful. And so Nandanandanam signifies him whose form is the highest dense bliss. And that's very important thing, that this form of Krishna in Vrindavana is more attractive than any other form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because from the point of Shastra, Vishnu and Krishna, they on the same level, but Rupa Goswami states that Siddhantata Stabhedipi Shri Isha Krishna Svarupayoh. Although from the point of Siddhanta, Shri Isha means Narayana, master of the Lakshmi, and Krishna on the same level, their form Svarupa on the same level. There is no difference to Abhedi. But Rasenat Krishyate Krishna Rupam Esha Rasastitihi. But form of Krishna filled with highest type of rasa. It's more attractive than any other forms. And Acharyas explains that in this Shri Isha also included Krishna in Dvaraka. So any other forms except Krishna in Vrindavana, they, from the point of rasa, is inferior. And Acharyas in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu quotes a verse which spoken by wives of Krishna in Dvaraka, except 8 primary wives. They express their desire to get in contact with the Supreme Lord, which dwells in Vraja. And they say, I will read a very interesting thing. They tells, all saintly women, we do not desire dominion over the earth, the sovereignty of the King of Heaven, unlimited facility for enjoyment, mystic power, the position of Lord Brahma, immortality, or even attainment of the kingdom of God. We simply desire to carry on our heads the glorious dust of Lord Krishna's feet, enriched by the fragrance of kunkuma from his consort's bosom. We desire the same contact with the Supreme Lord's feet that the young women of Raja, the aboriginal Pulinda women near the grass, and the cowherd boys tending the cow's desire, the touch of the dust. Why is different perspective can be given why it's interesting, why this verse is interesting. But Acharyas explains this verse from the perspective of Ananda, that happiness which is derived from relationships with Krishna in Vrindavan is above everything. And they quote Taittiriya Upanishad, where comparison of different Anandas is given. That first is a unit is taken a young man who studied the Vedas and who have strong mind, who have good health, physically he is well equipped, and he have land, wealthy land, means there's a cows, this land can give a lot of grains, fruit, everything, so all his facilities is covered. So happiness which this person experience is one unit. And then he tells, like in comparison, that 100 of such units it was experienced by Gandharvas. 100 units of this Ananda which is experienced by Gandharvas is Manusha Gandharvas, this 100 is Deva Gandharvas, and so on and so on. Then he come up to the main demigods, Indra, Brahma, and then he tells that, and also at any comparison, in Upanishad, it's stated that like if we multiply this unit of happiness of man on the earth 100 times, that's the happiness which Gandharvas experience and liberated person. So each comparison, this added and liberated person, means that liberated person, he experienced all happiness. And finally, it comes up to the Brahmas, means Lord Brahma's happiness. And then it's said that when you multiply it into 100 times, again, happiness of Brahma, then it's Brahmananda. Happiness means happiness of understanding Brahman. And of course, it's, how to say, this 100, this number is given just to show superiority. It's not that, it's because Brahmananda, it's, you can say, unlimited happiness. But then it said that Brahmananda bhaveti chet parartha guni kritaha, that even if one will experience Brahmananda in Samadhi for 50 years of Lord Brahma, then 90 bhakti sukham bodhehe paramanu tulam api. It cannot be comparable even with drop of bhakti. Means, paramanu, very small drop of bhakti, happiness which devotee relishes, cannot be compared even to this Brahmananda, which is accumulated for 50 years of Lord Brahma's life. And this bhakti, that's what gopis feels here. That was all inhabitants of Vrindavana experience. And that's why those, they look with love to Krishna, and that's why everything animate and inanimate in Vrindavana always acts in service of Krishna with the desire to please him, because all of them, they feel this happiness and there is no bound, there is no limit, and nothing which we can experience in this world. This comparison in Taittiriya Upanishad, we cannot even understand what is this to be a sane person. In Kali Yuga, what is this to be a sane young person with stable mental health, who studied the Vedas, who have land, wealthy land, who know how to work there, who is independent, who know how to teach others. But that's the first unit from which is begin, and even Lord Brahma's happiness, it's something uncomparable. It's unimaginable from the material level. But happiness which devotees experience when they serve Krishna is far, far. Of course, what I said, this Brahmananda Bhaveti Sha verse, it's description of Sandrananda Visheshatma, this quality of bhakti, which means that on the level of prema, it surpasses all other happiness. But Acharyas explains also that from the very beginning of bhakti, this is experienced. So here and there we can feel this, Krishna reciprocate, Krishna gives sometimes this happiness, so that we would continue, so that we would have a taste. Any questions or additions or anything, please? ग्रंथ राजा श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, शिव प्रभुपाद की जय।